Hey guys, it's me, Beth Ann Gardner with Dudum Real Estate Group. If you're wanting to strengthen your mind, body, and spirit, watch this video. Hear all about three-leaf health and wellness. Hey Shannon, how are you today?
I'm good. How are you, Beth Ann?
I am doing fantastic. Hey guys, I just want to introduce you to Shannon Miller. So I just thought she'd be a fantastic person for you to know in case you're thinking about, maybe changing your eating habits so that you are mentally, physically stronger in this crazy world, and we all need more in our life. And she is the person that has, just a huge amount of knowledge. Do you decide to get into this business of health and wellness?
So it definitely was a journey, and I think most people that land in the holistic health field or nutrition generally get there because of their own struggles. And I definitely had my own struggles growing up. I had a lot of issues with food and weight. And then as I entered my early 20s, I actually ended up with an autoimmune condition. So I was dealing with a lot of pain, a lot of inflammation, was searching for answers through traditional means, by going to doctors and specialists, and I wasn't getting answers. And so it took me about 3 years to get a diagnosis. And then I realized how big of an impact what we eat has on our body. And so I just started to really get into how food can be medicine and how we can really heal ourselves through what we eat. But more so, you kind of touched upon that, like physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritual health, like it all goes together. And that really was a big part of my own journey, was realizing how much the mental, emotional, and spiritual aspects of health impact my physical health. So after kind of going through my own struggle, I ended up going back to school and getting my master's in holistic health education, and I specialized in nutrition. I went on to become a board certified holistic nutritionist, and I have a couple other specialties and certifications that I've gotten since, just because I love to learn more, and everybody is so different. So I really have had to expand my own knowledge base to understand how to help people more. But I mean, I got here because of my own struggles, and I am constantly working on myself. Health really is a journey. It's not a destination.
Definitely.
We don't suddenly arrive at health and then we just coast. Like it's a constant, I've heard it said where, your health is like rent. It's due every day, So in this regard, it's kind of like your mortgage. You have to pay it every month.
That is true. And I've noticed as I've gotten older, things in my life has shifted quite a bit. What I needed 10 years ago is very different from what I need now.
Yeah. And I think sometimes like what got you to whatever your goal was last year or 5 years ago isn't necessarily like the same. You can't do the same plan and get the same results. Sometimes hormones have shifted, circumstances have changed, and all of those, where we live, what we eat, who we're around, all of those impact our health. I mean, take COVID right now. We're not seeing people, and I think a lot of people are struggling with food, emotionally eating, struggling with mental health because we're not interacting with people the same way. And that takes a toll on our physical health. Absolutely.
Yeah, I definitely can feel the difference. And I found I'm just kind of reverted back to not thinking about the food that I'm choosing to eat. And sleeping is not now as good as it used to be. So it truly, it literally is. And before you know it, it's just those little things that you do. All of a sudden you're back to that same world that you were eating bad food and drinking coffees in the afternoon and doing all the things that you know better, but somehow you get there really easily. At least for me, it's definitely something that I have to work on all the time. So So thank you for being an expert, because we all need some help, especially me. So, I know you have an autoimmune disease, or you have worked through that. What drives you to do what you do? Because I'm sure it can be quite challenging having your own business and, having kids like you do. And I mean, it's quite challenging. What makes you do what you do?
I mean, when I first started, I didn't have my son. He's a year next week, which is just crazy. But what drove me was I did want a family, and I wanted to have the autonomy to build my own business, have flexibility to be there for, my son right now, hopefully another one in the future.
Yeah.
Um, and I want to help people the way that I know is best, the way that has worked for me. And I want to be able to evolve and change. And I have found that working for other people, there's structure, and it doesn't necessarily resonate all the time with me. And I'm somebody where, like, I do not know how to work for money, because I have to work for passion.
Yes. Yeah.
I have left jobs that were, very consistent and financially great, but I left just feeling empty. And so what
Yeah.
drives me is honestly like passion and love, and the fact that I get to watch people change their lives. I am not changing them. I am the resource.
Yeah.
I provide the education and the support and the accountability, but I cannot change somebody's life. It has to come from them. But seeing those transformations inside and out keeps me going.
Yeah.
But definitely, I mean, my passion and what drives me is just wanting to create the best life that I can for my family.
Well, that's great. And I know in the business that I mean, just helping that one person just I just know that gives you so much joy. That's how I feel about what I do. I just love to do what it takes to see a smile on their face and feel like they accomplished their goal and their dreams are going forward. And there just is nothing better than that. I too believe in the same thing. It gets me up every day and I'm fired up to do what I do. And, I think you have to have that passion to do what we're doing, for sure, So, can you tell me something that most people don't know about what you do for your business? Is there something unique?
So I think what a lot of people don't know is that, most people see me, they're like, oh, Shannon, she's a nutritionist, right? So they just are like, oh, we're going to talk about food, right? Like, and I think most people are surprised that, yes, we're going to talk about food, but it's actually generally not the primary thing that I talk to people about. It really is more so that mental health. It's that mindset. I think if I could just spend like 2 months working with people on their mindset before we even talk about food, like the progress would be astronomical. But people need that more instant gratification, and they feel that when they change their food. Right. But it really is about changing the mindset. You change your mind, you can change your life. Physical changes are great, and really diving deep and moving towards health, not just weight loss, I think is great. But what I have found is that when people change their mindset, start to love themselves again, everything else starts to fall into place. When you love yourself, you naturally want to take care of yourself.
Absolutely.
You want to eat better. You want to move your body. You want to stick to the things that are going to move you forward and make you feel good. So I think what surprises people the most is the amount of time I spend not talking about food.
That's true. Yeah. Yeah. Well, and it's so true, because if you have the love for yourself and you have the energy, because now you're doing the right things for your body and for your mind, you're just so much a better person for everybody else. I mean, your husband and your children, and my kids would say, I mean, they're funny, but they're always like, Mom, you haven't worked out in a couple of days, because they know, because I literally, my energy level, my positivity, the energy I can give to everybody circulates on taking care of me first. And that's something I think we kind of get lost in with the world that we're in. We're so busy. we're so focused on everything else, but we don't focus on ourselves and what we need. And like you said, it's the food that we put in, it's the working out, and it's not even about the losing weight. It's just giving our body strength.
Yeah.
And that comes from so many different things. And food is one of the biggest things, it's fuel. And I try to tell my kids all the time, I said, just remember, your body is like a car. Whatever you put in, it's how it's going to respond. If you keep putting junk in, the car is going to die sooner. It's just not going to work that well. So I think doing what you're doing is super helpful for people, because we all need it. We all do. So, so I know you have this cute little 1-year-old boy. So do you have what's your next goals for this year for your work? What are you wanting to accomplish?
Yeah, so I mean, now that he is a little bit older, I have some pretty big goals for my business. I got married, we bought a house last year, we moved, we had our son, so it's definitely been like 2 years, I feel, of just transitions and shifts.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
this year I feel like we've settled in and I'm now able to really turn more of my attention onto building my dreams and building the business. So, I'm starting to take on more clients now that I have a little
Mm-hmm.
bit more bandwidth than I was in the past.
Yeah.
Um, and I just, you know, sometimes I'll have like the financial number in mind, but it's really the number of people that I want to help. And
Yeah.
there's a lot of time and attention that goes into the work that I do, because right now what I do primarily is one-on-one, and so there's only so many hours in a day, but making each of those interactions really, really special and unique and impactful, like that is my biggest goal. And I want to make sure that I am helping people physically, spiritually, emotionally, and mentally. And if I can hit those 4 points with everybody, then like for me, that's success, that's progress, that's me doing what I'm supposed to do.
Thank you so much for sitting down with me. And, guys, if you have any questions about anything, about health, your wellness, food, this is your expert. So please call Shannon. She would be happy to talk with you, and learn about kind of what your needs are and what you want to do. And I'm sure she's would be very happy to meet you.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So thank you again, Shannon, for meeting with me. And I look forward to posting this. And guys, call Shannon. All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Hey guys, thank you so much for watching my video. I'm just doing this to help local businesses. So if you or someone you know would like to do an interview with me, I would love to help them. So just send me an email or call me and we will get it scheduled, and I'll post it on Facebook and all my social media outlets, as well as my website. All right, thank you. Bye.